Hey guys, welcome to Cash Cleaner Simulator. Today we're going to be going over the pro tips and tricks. I'm not going to be going over the basic stuff. You guys should have a handle on the game, and you might play it a different way than I do as well. But we're going to go over the advanced stuff to help you out on the more difficult task. So let's get into it. Let's grab this stuff so I can explain what's going on with the counterfeit. And then I should also buy the EU one, because I'm sure somebody has bought it, especially if they're looking at this video. Deliver it. Alright, so counterfeit bills. I took a mission here on the darknet. We took one for the counterfeit bills. So when it says no counterfeit bills, you'll see one that say no marked bills, no inked bills. That usually involves those kinds of bills. So here we got the bag filled with stuff that has counterfeit bills and not counterfeit bills. So we're just going to grab all this out here. And I have all the different types of counters here set up. The basic counter that you start with does not filter counterfeit money. I'll say that again. This does not filter counterfeit money. I have a palette here of counterfeit money. I'm just going to toss it here, and this will not filter it. It'll just spit it out. Then over here we have, this is the US money counter. And see the side slot here? This side slot is for counterfeit bills. So this will actually spew out the counterfeit bills here. There you go, you get an example here, spewing out all the counterfeit bills, and since all of them are counterfeit bills. And then we have the EU money counter here. This will also, same thing, has a side slot for the counterfeit bills. We're just going to press this, and it'll spew out all the counterfeit bills. And then on the big counter here, you have the ability to change to all the denominations, has 3 loadout slots for 3 different denomination bills, and once again has a side slot for the counterfeit bills. So we're just going to take all these counterfeit bills, put them in, and it'll spit them out. And that's how you do the counterfeit bill markings. So what you want is at least one of the large cash counters or the extra large cash counter. You could choose whichever you want, but that is how you filter counterfeit bills. Alright, so a quick way to filter out junk. You can either start with the bands or the single dollar bills. You just click on one. When you click on one single dollar, you will not be able to pick up trash or bands with a single click, but if you hold or just rapidly click, you will pick up all the other single bills. Not many single bills are all blocked by the other stuff. So we're going to put those to the side. Same thing with the bands or the trash. So we're going to pick up a band here. And we should be able to pick up the other bands without picking up any of the trash. Like so. And then same thing, so the coins are different from the trash. Coins are its own denomination. You will not be able to pick up trash bills or single bills. But you can pick up all the other coins like so. Same thing with the trash. Trash, you will not be able to pick up the other bills, but you can pick up other pieces of trash. You'll form a trash bag. I believe it can have about 41 items in the trash bag. Or you could just wait to filter out the trash later. And that's how you quick stack or quick sort the bills. Speaking of sorting, you're going to have 4 different types of sorting besides the denomination of the bills. You're going to have coins, trash, shell casings, and you have miscellaneous. So this is the bigger items such as necklaces, vases, and the trophies. Alright, so you got your first large money counter here, and you're trying to sort out quickly, trying to fill it in, and you're tired of just picking it up, putting stuff in, picking it up, and putting stuff in. Well, fear not. You can actually load the stacks of money right here. Take your knife that we have handy, and if you cut the bills, they will automatically fall into Bill's mouth. That's right, chat named the machine Bill, because look at his face, isn't he cute? I have a double machine shed up here, so I am just going to load out here. You want to reach it to about the edge of the blue here. That edge of the blue is a max money counter with a hold. And then if you start, bring out our tape. One quick tip for you, when it loads out, do not hit pack. Go ahead and just click on the stack, it'll fall down. You do this for the max stack. I do this to both sides. That way it runs at maximum efficiency here. This way I'm not running around all over the place. Game's not perfect, but pretty good. As you can see, it spit out a bill it shouldn't have. That's okay. What do you want? 21 million yen in a backpack. Let's see, what do we have? 10 here? We do. That's 10 million. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 500, 1 million. Oh my god, I threw my tape. There it is. He wants us in a backpack. We're gonna give him back that backpack. We're gonna eat the money. Nom, 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 nom. Alright, let's see if I can go over marked bills. Ink stained money. Ink stained money. No marked bills. Here we go. Alright, so marked bills. If you take on a mission that says no marked bills, it will have bills that are marked inside. Let's open up the treat here and see what we got. Alright, so marked bills are a little more difficult. There's no automated sorting for marked bills, unfortunately. A lot of people say use the workbench. The workbench is definitely not the quickest method. I'm going to show you guys the quickest method and the proper settings to use to really pick out those marked bills. So first thing you want to do is go into your settings here, go into video, and you want to scroll down and see this global illumination. You want to disable that. If this is not disabled, it could fade the markings on the bills, making them harder to see. Second thing you want is complete darkness. So we're going to sleep until nighttime. Should be just after 7 p.m. Alright, we went a little further, but that's okay. As you can see, it got very dark, and that's exactly what we want. We have a mark set up here with a UV stand, but you can use one of these portable UVs if you're not that far in the game yet and you're still struggling with marked cash. You could just put one of these right on the floor. It works just as well. We just have the cash, so we have the proper equipment. As you can see, I have some marked bills already sorted here. We're going to go ahead and sort this out. Bullets like to roll everywhere. If you have an issue with that, you guys can always just sort them out in the dryer. The dryer will not let the bullets fly everywhere if you have an issue with that. Alright, so we're going to take our stack here. There should be some marked money in here. We're just going to pick up as much as we can. Alright, we're going to hit the lights off as well. Alright, only light we're getting is from the UV. Alright, so if you right click and hold, you're going to hold out the stack here. If you hit X, you're going to discard a single stack. Look, there's a marked bill right there. But if you click and hold X, you will start fanning out the money. Just move your character like so. I just go in a big circle, but you can do whatever you want. This way you can just quickly pick out the marked bills as such. And then you could put them away. There you go. We got a clean bills, and it's just that quick, guys. Now, one of the chatters told me that there will never be marked bills in the stack. I don't know how 100% accurate that is, but I haven't seen one yet. So I am assuming that chatter is correct. But always just check a few stacks, and then if you don't find any, you could always just assume as well. And that's how you sort marked bills quickly. Alright, Bill, open up. Oh yeah, I guess I should probably go over the scanner too. Because the scanner's not reliable. Yeah. So as you guys can see, this is the scanner. You can clearly see the marked money right there. And the scanner is telling me no marked money. This is exactly why I do not use a scanner for marked bills or counterfeit bills or any of that. It's just not 100% accurate. I just use the sorting method that I showed you. All right, so he wants 190. Let's do 150, 60, 70, 80, 90. In a medium box. All right, so those marked bills. We went over counterfeit bills. I guess we'll go over inked bills. All right, so inked bills. Let's say you just started the game. Inked bills will always come in these Federal Reserve bags, and what I mean by that is if you accidentally open them without cutting them, they will ink the money. All of the money inside will be inked. Never hit E, always bring out a knife. Bring out your stylish knife, and always cut these bags. The Federal Reserve bags are trigger bags. If you accidentally do trigger a bag, and let's say the bills inside got inked, well, you're better off just cleaning the ink off with this beautiful fire right here. The reason for that is, in order to clean the bills, you have to take the bills all the way over here into the workbench. And then you have to take this scrub here, and you can't even clean the stack. You have to lay out the bills like this, one at a time. So let's just say you don't have the extra cash and you have to clean the bills because you can't burn them. Well, in that case, I recommend laying out the bills like this so there's no open areas between them, and then scrubbing them like so. And then after you scrub them, they'll be clean and you can deposit them in the stash. Just make sure you don't stash any inked bills, or your entire stash is going to get re-inked and then you have to start over. Alright, I guess while I'm here, I will show you guys how to move big stacks of money. Alright, so for strapped cash, let's say you have a lot of strapped cash that needs to be cleaned, and you're worried because it can't all fit in the dryer. Well, don't worry, strapped cash doesn't count towards the weight limit of the washer, but once you start it, so make sure you load it up with as much as possible, because it will unstrap all the cash. And as you can see, the weight limit filled up, which means we have a full washer beyond full of cash. And then as you can see, we have a lot of cash in here. Alright, so all this has to get into the dryer. So instead of picking it up one bundle at a time and tossing it in, what we could do is make sure you pick up a ball like so. Hold out your right click, and as you can see, it picked up all the money, and now we have all the money in this big portable ball. Doesn't slow us down at all. And this works anywhere with any bills. Move it, pick it up. Even loose bills, I'll show you that. You pick up, you could have a bunch of loose bills like so. Pick up the ball, same thing, it still works. It will auto pick up all the bills for you. Then we just plop that big pile into the dryer like so. Super easy way to move big stacks of money around. Isn't it beautiful? This is such a satisfying mechanic. Open. Same thing to get them out. You just take the ball and it will zoop, pick them all up. And then we could just move this wherever we want. If we had a prep pallet, we could put it on that. Or if you wanted to, you could just take the big old stack, throw it right on top of Bill like so. Right in his face, just like that. The machine will still work. If you could hit the start button. There it is. And it will, as you can see, use the stack. I guess I should have held on to some inked bills so I could show them. the cleaning process, but that's okay, because my honest recommendation is never clean it. In a medium box. Welcome in. Why do you have a pencil inside? Whatever. You're getting a pencil. Congratulations. You're getting a red colored pencil. There's currently no way to get rid of items you've purchased, unfortunately. So don't be buying everything all at once. So if you have wet money, you can leave it out and dry. I believe it has to be unstacked though, and it will dry eventually. I could be wrong on that. The stacked money might just take longer to dry. We're going to unstack that. But if you leave the stuff out, it will dry eventually. Same thing with the packages that it come in. If it comes in wet, if you just leave it out, it will dry. You could also put it closer to the fire and it should dry out quicker. I don't know if money does that. We can try that right now. Leave it cooking by the fire. We'll check back in with that. Obviously, this takes longer than just throwing them in the dryer, but this does work. There we go. They just dried. Well, not all of them, but... Yoink. Alright, Bill, eat up. Alright, I'm going to show you guys the bonuses that you get for completing the missions. There are a total of, I believe, 9 bonuses, but you can't get them all. Alright, so we have 15 million yen here. This is a perfect block. A perfect block is when you have max packs in a stack, and the number should be 30. 30 packs make a perfect block. Means I can't pick up any other packs. If we wrap this, this is a perfect block now. So since the mission only takes 11.5 million in a sports bag, and we have 15 million, we're going to get a bonus of more cash. Might even be much more cash. And then we're going to get a perfect block bonus. No marked money. Single delivery. Essentially, this is the best you could do. Is when you have a perfect block over the amount. Here we go. Much more money. Single delivery. Nothing else. No marked money. No fake money. Perfect packs and perfect blocks. There you go. Alright, as I'm sure you guys have noticed, we have the pallet landing pad here. I call it the landing pad. I spread out pallets because I don't need stuff flying everywhere and getting lost behind stuff and crevices or anything like that. So I just usually lay out a bunch of pallets on top of the landing platform and make my own landing pad. Definitely helps with catching stuff, anything that comes down. It doesn't catch the big items, but the big items obviously do not splash everywhere. It's all the little stuff that it catches. Alright, we are now going to go into the spoiler segment of the video. I'm going to show you guys where the bills are, how to get the art bills, and the 3 endings, or the secret third ending. There are a total of 3 endings. One, you blow up the piggy bank with the mortar. The other one, which we did on this run, was we hit the button and launched the piggy bank into the sky full of cash. And then the third ending is right up here. You use 2 ladders to circumnavigate to get to the outside. Like so. And once outside, you will see smoke and trees in the distance. That's where you want to go. The campfire in the tree. I'm just going to jump down here. And here's the secret ending. In order to initiate the secret ending, you hit E on the log. This is a sports bag filled with $130,000 in cash money. We're going to go ahead and show you guys the scene.
You surprise me, darling. I've always liked people who play by the rules. Predictable, convenient, easily controlled. I like them as objects, tools. But those I really respect are the ones who break the rules. I knew I had you, Fresh, but I had you all wrong. While everyone was trying to tell you which path to walk down, you made one for yourself. Now, it might be that you were just too much of a coward to choose, but I don't believe that. No, I raised you better than that, didn't I? So what now, Mr. Fresh? Will you wander through infinity, searching for new answers? Or will you come back to the game?
Obviously, she says, will you come back to the game? But obviously you have no choice because there's nothing else out here. We're headed to the city, but before we get to the city, there's an edge and it leads into the void, which transports you back inside. So that's where we're headed. This is the void. We're going to jump down into the void. And we come back through the chute, back inside. All right, art bills. All right, so the easiest art bill to get is going to be right up here at the top of the furnace. It's going to be right here. We already have it, obviously, but it's going to be right here on the edge. You'd also use your money scanner. The money scanner will pick up on the art bills. We actually have a extra art bill. I'll show you where to get this €100 one. We already have the complete collection. Next art bill is going to be on top of the scoreboard, on top of the basketball hoop right here. Another art bill is going to be right up here. You're just going to put a box or anything here. And it's going to be hidden right here behind this pillar. That's where the €100 art bill is. Next art bill that is scattered out throughout the facility is going to be right here, right next to the bucket here, right on the ground. It's another art bill. And then the other ones are just quest rewards and will come in the quest money. So make sure you're scanning all the money from the get-go. That way you won't miss any bills. So you take a job, you get a money stack, you can scan. The scanner will pick up, as you can see, collectible money detected. It's collecting that. It's scanning this. So it scans all the way over here. If you have it in your field of view, it's going to register. Doesn't matter if it's inside packages or not. And that's how you get all the art bills as well. All right, guys, I'm going to conclude it there. I hope these tips and tricks were helpful for you guys. If you guys are still struggling, go ahead and post in the comments below, and I will try to get back to those as soon as I can. Other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day and keep cleaning money.